Dear students, let us glance over the previous class. In our previous class, this was the theme, main theme. As per Negotiable Instrument Act, there are three types of instruments: bill of exchange, promissory note, and check. That means, as per Act, these three are the negotiable instruments. And the characteristics of negotiable instruments, the main characteristics of negotiable instruments are the transferability, negotiability, and right to sue. Out of these three, the negotiability is the vital, because negotiability means the transferee can enjoy the better title than the transferor. That means the defects, if there is any defects in the part of transferor, that defect cannot touch the transferee if he is a holder in due course. So this is the substance of our previous class. So let us start today's topic. So let me erase the previous class this way. So today's topic will be first two part, this bill of exchange and promissory note. So today we will discuss this 2 point, and the check will be discussed in another independent class in detail. So let me erase the check. So we will discuss today the bill of exchange and promissory note. So come to this is a model. This is a model of a bill of exchange. Entire this portion. In a bill of exchange, you see stamp. Stamp is a must as per Indian Stamp Act. In a bill of exchange, stamp is a must as per Indian Stamp Act. Then how the language is written, you see. 3 months after date. Date means this date. Suppose place is Guwahati. Suppose place is Guwahati. So 3 months after date, pay me or my order the sum of rupees 10,000. You have to put in bracket the in words also for value received. So this is the language actually. Then the drawer or the maker or the creditor, he will put his signature here. And to whom this order is issued, his name will be here. And he is regarded as drawee. That means debtor. He is debtor and he is creditor. So this document is written by creditor to debtor. So in a bill of exchange, acceptance is a must. The debtor has to accept the documents. The order is given by the creditor to pay a certain amount of money to him or his order, and that order has been accepted by the debtor putting his signature this way. Signature and date. Signature and his date. So bill of exchange is written in this way. But you can put the bill of exchange. So in a bill of exchange, there are three parties mainly. Three parties. One is drawer, that means creditor or maker, we may say. The other is the drawee, on whom the documents is drawn, and the another party, that is pay. Me, pay. Pay. So in a bill of exchange, there are three parties. But sometimes in a bill of exchange, there may be two parties also. In this example, you see, this is me. This is me means this, drawer. So in this example, there will be two parties only. That is drawee, and the maker and the payee are same person. But you can put the another name here. 3 months after date, pay, instead of me, you can write pay Mr. X, Mr. Y. Pay Mr. Y or his order. You may put this way also. So in this case, clearly there are three parties: drawer, drawee, and payee. Mr. X is payee. So to execute the credit instrument, we can choose this option, that means bill of exchange. We have the three options actually: bill of exchange, promissory note, and check. With the help of any one of these documents, we can execute any credit instrument, any credit transactions. So this is one alternative. So this document is very vital. The conception of this bill of exchange is very vital, as because we can understand the promissory note comparing this bill of exchange. Again, at the time of discussion of check, we have to compare the check with the bill of exchange. That is why the conception of bill of exchange is vital, and depending upon the concept of the bill of exchange, we will study the promissory note as well as check in the next class. So I think the concept of bill of exchange is clear. So there are bill of exchange maybe mainly two types. One is demand bill of exchange and time bill of exchange. Details are available in the books or even in the Google search. You can search the Google also. Everything is available. But the conception is this. Now, come to the second point, that is promissory note. So this is another option through which we can execute the credit transactions. So in promissory note, there are two parties only: debtor and the creditor, Mr. X. You see the language, there will be a date of drawn, and place will be there. Then I promise to pay rupees 10,000. You have to put in words also. This 10,000 to Mr. X after 3 months from the date. So normally this is the style of the language, and it is written by the debtor, not by the creditor. But in case of bill of exchange is written by the creditor, but promissory note is written by debtor. It is a promise. I promise. That is why this promissory note. So its promise is made by whom? Promise is made by debtor. To whom? To creditor. To creditor. What is the promise? That after 3 months he will pay the entire amount. So that is the promise. So this promise also the unconditional promise. In bill of exchange also, that was order. In bill of exchange is an unconditional order. But promissory note is an unconditional promise. So, at any circumstances, there cannot be more than two parties, debtor and creditor, in promissory note. but in bill of exchange, there are made 3 parties also. This is the vital difference between this promissory note and bill of exchange. Now let us compare with the promissory bill of exchange with the promissory note. So the main comparison or difference between this bill of exchange and promissory note is that promissory note is written by debtor, but bill of exchange is written by creditor. And promissory note is a promise, unconditional promise, but bill of exchange is an unconditional order. Then both the document must be stamped as per Indian Stamp Act, in promissory note also and in bill of exchange also. Then acceptance, the another vital difference between promissory note and bill of exchange. Acceptance is a must in bill of exchange. Then only the bill of exchange will be valid. But in case of promissory note, the question of acceptance does not arise. Question of acceptance does not arise. Without any acceptance, promissory note is valid. So these are the main difference between promissory note and bill of exchange. So dear students, we will discuss another independent class for SEC only. SEC is an important negotiable instrument, and it is used in a large scale. So I will take another class on SEC in detail. So I think the concept of bill of exchange and promissory note is clear. At the same time, the distinction between or difference between bill of exchange and promissory note is also clear. Thank you.